Morning, fellow zombies. No, I am not alive. No, I am not awake. It's 4:21 in the morning, West Coast time, Wednesday, the 8th of May, 2024. Wondering what the hell I'm doing up this morning. This is the Weaver John C. who's losing his frickin' mind. Going through the YouTube before I went to bed last night. Some things caught my attention over the past week that didn't pop up on the media. And a lot of people are pissed off about it. Some people are actually going ape over it. And there's kind of screwed up this week. I didn't, but apparently our political parties had screwed up this week. Young Turks were having a conniption fit over President Biden and his handling of a few things left and right that, quite frankly, caught my attention. Apparently, the international criminal courts that deal with not exactly from the small, but from the countries and political leaders and representatives that if things would go south with another country, or say, for example, if one country was trying to kill off its denizens, going for genocide, the political leaders would be held in contempt and be held up for criminal charges. Kind of hard to put some of these people away, but they actually do get caught, sent over to the criminal courts, and sentenced. Well, apparently, if anybody tried to arrest any Israeli officials, since there have been warrants and subpoenas being sent and issued by the International Criminal Courts, they call it the ICC. We have several senators and representatives who made a political stunt and a threat to the court system. Now, for the court system to work, you had to have countries willing to submit. It's all part of the Geneva Convention, I think. The accountability and criminal sections of it, and to be the criminal process. But apparently, somewhere along the lines, America, decades ago, probably within my lifetime or longer than that, didn't sign some kind of accord. So we don't recognize it. But because we are theoretically passing a bill out there to, and got it repealed, by the way, some kind of international protection act that would give us a shield and an immunity from any kind of court activity. Saying, for example, if the United States was going to be complicit in a genocide, we would hold ourselves accountable. If we had signed the accords, but if we didn't, we said, screw it. We're not accountable to anybody. We're the United States. We got this arrogance about us anyway. Kind of sucks. So anyway, the International Criminal Courts had issued out subpoenas to Netanyahu and parts of his cabinet, who's charged on genocide of the Palestinian people. We should have been charged being complicit, being partners. But the court didn't send us any subpoenas on this one. And we got senators out there trying to show how much they support Netanyahu. Not the Israeli people, not the country of Israel, but of the administration that's doing this shit. Because the Hamas triggering this catastrophic worldwide event. Israel's now becoming the bad guys. They're trying to say they're the good guys. They're going after Hamas while killing people at the same damn time. Some of the independents out there are verifying a few things that the corporate media is not bringing to light enough or at all, and being threatened by the independent journalists out there who are stating that the United States is complicit in actions that, quite frankly, are pissing off a hell of a lot of people and probably going to be diverting more votes to Donald Trump, even though they don't want to in the first place. Which asshole would you rather support? An asshole supports genocide or the guy who wants to be a dictator? And then you got the triplicate wannabes chomping at the bits. It's the United States elected officials going after the courts. They're the same assholes that kept saying that they support law and order. They support the judge's decisions, and yet they rigged the judicial system. But they claim that they already had the Democrats rigging the election system. How to screw around with the public one way or another. A federal district judge, Judge Comey, what the hell was her name again? Oh, Lord. Hang on. So before I'm not even alive and awake yet. I know the court case against Donald Trump in the federal Florida went south. Actually, the court case never happened. There goes my water. Hold on a second. All right. Try this one. Judge Eileen Cannon, who was Trump appointed judge. Trump got her the position. So in order to pay her, she delayed the trials as much as she can until she said it was indefinitely postponed until whenever. The federal prosecutor that was going after Trump at this point, well, that's gone thrown out the. He's not going to get his chance going after after this. So there may be some kind of. I don't know what the hell's going to happen at this point. But she is going to get her ass reviewed, hopefully by judicial review on this one. Because she delayed a court case. And it's going to be up to the federal prosecutor to file charges against her regarding this. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that or not. If that wasn't bad enough. Apparently everybody else is trying to focus on the damn Stormy Daniels shit. Everyone else was drooling over the damn crap. It's just being a nightmare at this point. But in order to get one particular bill passed back in March, would have been a political win for Biden. There was a major sacrifice to cancer research, even courses of treatment. The funding for it got axed completely. They would have to make some kind of bills for the cancer treatment because it got sucked out of a appropriation bill. Yeah, I'm just typing it in here. I heard about this shit. There's one of the independence guys figured about this one and went deep on this. There was funding that should have been, and it wasn't. Politico was talking about it. His moonshot, President Biden's moonshot when President Obama was in office, Vice President Joe Biden, he lost his son due to cancer, and therefore President Obama, when he was in term, when he was in office, promised a moonshot of a appropriations bill to get cancer fully research and treatment really fully funded. Unfortunately, the act ran out of money, and it was either getting the act funded or Biden wouldn't get a win somehow. The spending package, according to some of the news sources, and I'm going through political.com on this one, didn't have any of the funding renewed for this moonshot, which meant something that would have helped out with a lot of people regarding dying from cancer. Well, now they're going to be dying in masses at this point because either Congress was going to give a political win one way or another to Biden, but the cancer was going to be a sacrifice, apparently. The GOP decided to gut the damn thing. So now Biden is trying to get the moonshot funding in the fiscal year 2025 budget request. If it goes through, cancer research may continue, but if not, knowing how the Republicans are right now, they don't want to give another win to Biden at this point. National Institute of Health, well, they're pissed, and they can't get the funding just yet, not until Congress gets its dead ass. They wanted to do more research, but they can't because they haven't got the political money. They haven't got the money, period, going through. That isn't a kick in the head. Everything going to hell in a handbasket. I heard about the cancer research and I'm thinking to myself, you guys really didn't want a Biden win at all. They really hate his ass that much. They go after the Trumplicans go after a court system that if they happen to touch Israel, they go insane over that damn thing. And they brought up the Hague's Protection Act, and I was trying to research it last night before I went to bed. There's a lot of research out there because this Protection Act was passed a couple of decades ago, but they still didn't bother to recognize that the United States could be hauled up before the International Tribune and be grilled at The Hague on war crimes, potential war crimes, or even current war crimes. Senate, about a month and a half ago or two, sent a nasty letter over to the court system, to which the court said, no, you're still going to be liable for it. But the GOP says, no, we're protected by this bill. I did further research on this damn bill. Sorry. Apologies. The act that they were talking about got repealed. But they still think it's still active because they're shielded from it. But we're still not signed as a willing partner to be part of the international criminal courts. Hell, even during Trump's time, he wanted to stay the hell away and dismantle the United Nations one way or another. It seems like we've got people out there who are claiming that the United States has absolute immunity for anything and everybody. We are so much of a law and order nation that we're willing to look the other way when it comes down for law and order. We're the ones calling the shots and nobody else. We got to get our asses kicked on this one. We really do. The problem is we don't. We think we're above the law. We think we're the Roman Empire. It's no wonder we're like Israel right now. Our allies would hardly bat an eye for us, but it's not happening as much. Israel, for all intents and purposes, is supposed to have been a democratic country, and yet it's turned out to be an authoritative, dictating country because of its current administrator, its lead administrator, and its cabinet that are all complicit in the genocide. I have to use the word on it. I have to use this phrase. Wiping out a people just to get after the terrorists. And yet it probably would hold the Palestinians accountable. They've already been wasted beyond, if I'm going to use this ugly terminology here, caveman level. They depended solely on the good graces of Israel to keep their existence. Now, somehow, Hamas triggered this situation with them, with Israel and everybody else. That has leveled the Palestinian people and really created another genocidal wave. Actually, I was about to say a generational uh, hatred coming back towards Israel, multiple fold on this one. Israel swore to itself it would never again be subjugated by anybody, not even internally, apparently. But at this point, what gets to me is yesterday was Holocaust Holocaust Remembrance Day. And yet the Israelis are creating a hell of a Holocaust. How do you remember a Holocaust? By creating one. And killing people in the process and calling it, no, no, no. This is justice. This is justice. They still got people out there. They still got people out there. Yeah, and you managed to murder a hell of a lot of Palestinians are going to have kids hating the Israelis from now on after what happened. Israel ought to be pulled up by its britches and sent over to the international criminal courts. They need to be. And for those senators who decided that they are going to take it upon themselves to go after the courts, they made a threat to the courts. They had made the United States do an official act against them. This is bull. This is bunk. We should be held accountable. We're no better than any other country. What the hell makes us more privileged and immune? But yet we've got our own political pundits saying the same damn thing or not even saying it at all. That's the one thing I hadn't seen. That's the one thing I hadn't seen in this. Where's America's accountability in all of this? In the Middle East crap. We are compliant. We are complicit. We are supplying the weaponry. This time, Biden said, okay, we're not going to supply the bombs that you're using on the Palestinians. We're not going to give you any more bombs until you broke your promise. Israel said, we didn't break our promise. We're not going to do it anyway. I mean, we're going through Rafah and we're going to blow to hell. We're going to be looking for Hamas. We're looking for people. And the independent journalists are saying that this is not the case, guys. Because you're murdering people left and right in order to do it. You're torturing people left and right. And if they had actually documentation, but they can't get any. You have to have photographs. You have to have um, media outlets in there to document the brutality. The borders are sealed, even for relief to get into the strip. The United States had to get an offshore dock to try to have the NGOs use it in order for supplies to be moved back into Gaza. In my lifetime, we've got a war happening that the United States is complicit. And we still hold ourselves above the law, but we're supposed to be a land of the laws. We are so screwed, it's not even funny. We're so screwed up, it's royally not funny. I'm almost tempted of contacting the international court systems and say, why don't you just charge me? I'm an American citizen. My tax money's in there somewhere. I should be held accountable. Use me as a scapegoat. Scratching your heads on that one, trying to figure out what the hell's going on? Why not? Why not can a lonely citizen tell the international court systems, if you still want to hold the United States accountable, then charge my ass? Because I'm an American citizen. If you're going to be charging anybody in the United States for the crimes, I'll step up. Not for the Biden administration, but for everybody else who fought and died for values and laws, for rules and regulations people didn't like, didn't want, for a country struggling for survival for 240 some odd years, still can't get its act together. And this current administration and the people that we got right now think they're above the law. Even the previous administration that we had thought it was above the law, thought they were above everything because we had that arrogance, we had that attitude. So why not? I'm complicit. I'm a taxpayer. I pay taxes. Holding a citizen up for trial because the American government wouldn't do it, Congress wouldn't do it. The administration is not even commenting about it. We didn't get officially charged. Only Israel is. But we got elected officials, both Senate and Congress and House of Representatives, threatening the courts. Granted, it's a political thing, but this is not politics. This is called stepping up. This is called stepping up and being accountable, transparent, and responsible. If there's any connection that the United States has towards the genocide against the Palestinians, they didn't deserve the shit that Israel's pulling on them. I believe that we are complicit in it. We're supplying the bullets. We're supplying the bombs. If Hamas is held back on their weaponry against Israel, it's not proven. But if Hamas fights back against Israel, I said, good. Fight against Netanyahu and his assholes, but not the country of Israel. But the problem is, they are fighting against Israel. They're fighting against the people, the country, and anything Israel stands for. In a constant move for more genocide in this place and not allowing aid to come in, Not enough of it anyway. We're complicit in the situation. We should have been forcing it. We should have been telling Bibi, look, you did this to your people, yet you want us to be friends with you. You want us to be friends to a bully. We're not bullies. You just made us a bully because we're friends with you. Fuck you. And the horse he rode in on. A lot of countries don't like you, Israel. Doesn't like the administration. The people are not doing enough to get rid of the government. They're not doing anything. They're not taking up arms and going after their own government system. They won't. They'll have nothing to hear from it. Although bitch and gripe about the damn system, but Netanyahu's got a grip on his own people there. He's becoming just like a little short shit with a stubby mustache who wanted Israelis, anybody else of Jewish descent, murdered. And now we're seeing the Palestinians paying this price. Netanyahu took over that spot. I suppose the cries of Auschwitz, Birkenau, hadn't cried enough. The ghosts haven't haunted Israel. They say never again. Well, they should have said never be like us. Not being victimized, but never be like the Nazis, victimizing others because of your damn misery. We're complicit. Our country is complicit. Apparently we didn't give a shit enough. We should have. We should have. Okay, that being said, so how do we deal with this? I don't know. I don't know what the hell we're supposed to do about it or say anything about it. I mean, it's a grand gesture. Use me as a damn scapegoat as an American citizen here. One little final note. Some memes are being posted around Facebook concerning about getting rid of the taxes, doing either a flat or just a straight fixed. But both want to abolish the IRS. I said no. I'm not supporting that bullshit. They want us. They want to abolish the IRS. Whoever keeps putting up these dumbass memes. They want to get rid of the tax system. They want to make it like it was the states more controlled instead of the federal government. Federal government being a sham, but the states have more control over people's freedoms. They're the ones who are administrating the damn shit. These assholes keep forgetting history left and right and don't give a shit about history left and right. They don't care about the individual freedom as long as the corporate gets paid and as long as they're doing their job. I get sick and tired of the bullshit. I'm really getting sick and tired of the bullshit. Abolish the IRS and everybody else's taxes? Well, then you don't want your services. You don't want the fire. You don't want police protection. You don't want roadways. You don't want infrastructure. You don't want to pay federal workers that does the servicing. You don't want to pay the state people. You don't want to pay the county. You don't want to pay taxes. You're going to make the economy grow by everybody keeping the money. But the problem is, you happen to collect taxes. Oh my God, they're communists. They're socialists. We've been socialists for a long while. But I should do that in a separate video, shouldn't I?